Welcome to 3D.sk. On this site you can find thousands of images of whatever you need, from male and female characters, costumes, animals. We also have 3D scans, textures, texture maps, street photo reference, studio photo reference, and many more, which can all be found on this site.
In this tutorial, we're going to go over what we need to do next, which is basically block out the whole of the head and then attach to the face and the ears. And then eventually we'll go into the next tutorial, which is in ZBrush, which is combining everything together. So the body we did in ZBrush and the head we did in 3ds Max and combining them. So now we need to create the head. Now, some people may start line modeling and going over the head and stuff like that, but I have a technique that I use. Is first, I'm going to get a sphere. I'm going to go hold control so I get its center. And then I'm going to make it a certain size. We're going to change this in a sec, so it doesn't really matter right now. I'm going to make an editable poly. Scale it up about right. Remember, she is wearing hair, so it's a little bit smaller than her hair. I'm going to hold Alt X. And I want this edge to fall about there. So this edge needs to be a little bit away from the brow, so it's going in the right shape. Kind of like this. Gonna scale that up a little bit more actually. Move it back a tiny bit. Around here I'm happy with. Around about here. So this part is kind of at the brow and we can move this a bit forward. Okay, so now we're gonna go to this. First of all, let's make sure it's centered. So you can see that the head is not a sphere shape because that does not look right. But we are going to fix this. So let's just go Z. Alright, it's only the X that we really care about. So let's go back to the side view. Select this, hold control, select polygon. And let's grow. Okay. Now with that selected, we can go make planar along the Z axis. Move it in. Move it in. And about here. That should be fine. So from when I've studied anatomy and the anatomy of the skull, it's not completely flat here. It's actually rotated in a few ways. So as you can see here, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to grow again. I'm going to rotate it. I'm going to move it down so it forms a bit more of a skull shape. Maybe move it in a little bit more. Move it in line with the ear, so turn off angle snaps. Rotate it a tiny bit more. Move it in and down a tiny bit more. And just kind of line it up with the ear. The angle that we've got for the ear anyway. Doesn't have to be perfect, but sometimes it's better. Okay, I'm going to say I'm around about happy with that. Okay, so also, it also rotates this way. So as you can see, we need to rotate it a little bit like so. And then we obviously need to move it into where it needs to be. So for now, I'm gonna maybe move it down a tiny bit more and leave it about there. The next step is to select half of it, delete, turn on symmetry. Where's symmetry? Here it is. Go on the Z axis. Make sure the mirror is at 0, it is. Go back to editable poly, show end selection, and now we've got this kind of weird shape, which still looks better than before, but not quite what we want. I'm just going to go to perspective mode. You can see that it's quite smooth, but that's not a problem because right now we're going to go here. We're going to go grow. Obviously symmetry is on. And then we're just going to relax this out a little bit. I'm going to go grow and relax it out. And that's just going to kind of taper off some things, not make it as harsh. So let's go back to orthographic, pressing U. Go back to the front view. Let's just see how things are going. So right now I'm fairly happy with that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to create a box around this. This is kind of a technique that I'll be showing in future tutorials, which is how to retopologize inside 3ds Max. So here you get a sneak preview of what that is like. So firstly, I want to center this. I want to align it to that, to the sphere we created before, pivot to pivot, XYZ position. I want to scale it up a little bit. I want to turbo smooth it. 2 iterations should be fine. Now, as you can see, I measured it pretty good. So when it would smooth down, it would be kind of in place. So now I'm going to collapse that. I'm going to spherify. I have trouble saying that word. Going to maybe scale it up a little bit. Here we go. So let's collapse that too. Last step is editable poly. Now what we do is we go over to polydraw, which is up here. We're going to go draw on surface, sphere, and we're going to select the sphere we made earlier. After that, you just go conform. Now what you want to do is you want to hold Alt, left click to make the conform more, hold Control, select the fall off, and hold Shift to select the strength. So I'm going to put it quite high because it doesn't really matter in this situation. And you're just going to left click and drag around the model, basically. Just make sure it's all conforming into shape. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to scale it up. A little bit. I'm going to select all of these and you guessed it, relax. Relax is a great tool sometimes. So I'm going to relax it one last time. And now I'm just going to go here and conform again. So you can do this as many times as you like. Right now I'm happy with just this. The only thing I am thinking of doing is adding some extra edge loops right now while I have this available. So let's look at let's go out of wireframe mode, pressing F3 actually. Select this, select the sphere, hide it for now. Let's just press Alt X on this, and we're just gonna put in a few edge loops now that we know we're gonna need later on. So for here, for example, we're gonna connect and add in 1, 2, 3, that should be fine. There's another way we could do this. We could select this middle edge, double click it to loop, and then we're going to use chamfer. I'm going to chamfer to here, and we're going to put an edge in the middle. Do about like this. We're going to relax them in a sec. Let's add another edge loop in here and here. How many do we want here? Probably 1 or 2. Gonna add in another one here, just 1 this time. If it's not necessary, don't add it yet, but just for sakes, I'm just gonna add that. Probably gonna add in an edge loop here, an edge loop here, for the ear, and maybe another extra edge loop here and here. For me, that seems like it's enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select it all and relax a little bit. I'm going to unhide the sphere, unhide all. Maybe scale it up a little bit. Let's go to polydraw, conform, and let's conform the shape again. Make sure you get all the way around. Okay. Now we can go to that sphere we had before and delete it. Actually, not quite how I want it. So let's select the cube underneath again. Go to relax. Conform. We want these edges to be kind of equal and nice and relaxed. So let's try and achieve that. Okay. Let's go back to the sphere. Let's hide it because we might need it later instead of deleting it for no reason. Okay, now we can switch to editable poly. We can delete half. We can use symmetry. And we can show end result. So right now the goal is to delete unnecessary parts. So how I usually like to do this is go here and up to the eye and around about here and delete. And then delete this area too, and maybe around about here, so we can work out what exactly we want to do with this area. Going to move this area out like so. Create that kind of brow. That means this also needs moving out, and we can just go and kind of conform things a little bit. Move this out a little bit maybe. Okay. Obviously, once in ZBrush, we can really define this a little bit more. So let's, because we've got symmetry on this, let's delete the symmetry off this. And let's attach this to here. Now they're one object. So we can start to target weld here to here, here to here. That's what we wanted to do. Then we can start bridging here. Bridge. Move this out. Okay. Now that we've got that bit connected, it obviously makes everything a lot easier. So for now, I'm going to hide the ear. Just because I want to form the jaw here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the plane, draw it in the view, I'm going to move it out here. Going to get it where the jaw kind of starts, and the jaw kind of starts underneath or behind your ear in a way. But you can see with her it's about here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to this editable poly, I'm going to go to line mode, and we're just going to start doing what we always do. Let's put it all the way to the bottom of the chin. Put some more connects in here, maybe 2. Alright. Now I accidentally selected the background. So let's select this. Move it all the way in here. Select these, move them in place as well, obviously. About there. Okay. Move this. Move this one into place along with the vertex underneath it. Move these two. Sorry, you need to go to the side view and then go back to the front view to do this properly. Select these and move them in. Select this one and this one. Move them out a little bit. You should be able to see the jaw just underneath anyway. So it should be fairly fine. Gonna make her jaw a bit more like so for now. Trying to work out what exactly trying to do. Okay. Might move these down a little bit to make it a bit smaller. Okay, so now we've got kind of the jaw and the chin that we want. Gonna move this back a little bit, down a little bit. Add another connect here. Not 2, just 1. And this is basically just how I go about modeling the head, because it can be quite tiresome sometimes, so I like to make it easier on myself. Obviously her mouth is not going to be like this so much, so we will fix that when we get to it. So now that we've got the jaw shape, let's just make sure this is on the Z and it's zeroed out. Okay, now we can go back to this, we can go editable poly, and we can go attach this to here. Now we've got a kind of jaw. Just move this, I'm going to hit Alt X here to kind of get it in the same way. Okay, and we're going to use target world here. Let me see if we should be doing that. That should work. What we also do is we can connect these two together. Get it on the Z. On the X-axis, sorry. Kind of make them join up. Move it down. Put another ring in here. Connect. Move it down. Alt X. to move it like this, turn off alt X. And now we can kind of do this. Sorry, not that. Move it back first without selecting these. Bridge and bridge. Wondering if this is a good idea. Which I think it's a bit unnecessary. So let's get rid of that. We can simplify things a bit better than that. It's not necessary. So first of all, select the whole loop. Let's get rid of some of it. And let's do this instead. Okay, I'm going to scale this so it's more like this. And then I'm going to target world this to here. That's what I wanted to do. So it gives us this split off point kind of thing. Going to select all of these and relax them out a little bit. Just looking a bit too boxy to me at the moment. So I'm going to maybe move this up. Move this over here a little bit. Move this up. What's going to happen with this is we're going to most likely bridge it to here. No, I don't like that much. So let's forget that idea. A ring. Get a connect in here. Deselect these. Make this a bit more kind of circular. Give this a bit more form. That means this also has to move out. Then we can probably, we're going to work out later what exactly we're going to do here. One option would be to target weld this to here, but that doesn't really work for me. So what I might do is just, firstly, I want this moving more like this. I'm going to select these lines, turn off alt X just in case it is on, which it was for me. And I'm going to carry on this kind of tradition loop. Move this in. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Okay, so next is working out this area. So I want to do something like this. So I probably want to do the same thing again, carry on this loop a little bit. So I'm going to target weld this to here. And then this to here. See how this works out? It's a bit funky, but it kind of works. Because that's going to be the cheekbone. So it kind of works for this. Bridge. Try 2. Don't like the idea of that. So this is probably where we want the loop to end. So I'm just going to put a bridge in here. Maybe. Let's see how this works out. If this was square. No, I don't like that. So, what can we do here? Maybe bridge this to here. That works out. Just this area that's given us some trouble. What I could do is I could get rid of that. I don't really want to. I want to bridge here. And then I want to bridge here. Let's just see how this looks once relaxed. How it conforms. That seems fine to me actually. Gives us a kind of forehead shape. Another thing we could do is we could delete all these. And we could make like carry on this loop a little bit more. Because you want the loops to kind of fade off in a way. Well, I prefer to make the loops fade off a little bit. And then come to a point like this. Yeah, I think this will work out better in the long run. I'm just going to select these. Weld, sorry, not target weld. Turn up the weld parameter a little bit. Get rid of that. We don't need it anymore. Bridge that. Okay. I feel a lot better about that. Yeah, that feels a lot better. Okay, now it's just a case of making all this match. So what do we want to do here? Do we want to carry on the loop? Or do we want to break it off? Let's try see what happens if we bridge. So we're gonna kind of want it to be probably like this. So let's see if we can accomplish that. Put 2 connects. Yep, 2 connects in here. Let's bridge there to there and there to there. That leaves us with a triangle. Delete here. We can probably target weld here. And target weld here. We can maybe get this. Grow it out a little bit. Relax it a little bit. Feel like this might be a bit too much relaxation for it. Yep, it's too much disparity here. So what do we want to do here? Let's move this down a little bit. Let's bridge it to, how about here? Carry on the tradition a bit more. Because the muscles do kind of react in this way, or move in this way. So let's target weld here to here. Okay. Then we can maybe just get this, bridge to here. Bridge that to there. Don't like that too much, so I'm gonna bridge. I'm gonna ring here, connect. Maybe move it out a little bit. Bridge, segments 2. Select these 2 vertexes, weld. Then I'm gonna go here, bridge. They're already pre-welded. And then We can add another connect here. Then we can weld all these parts together, one by one. Weld, weld. Okay. So now that we've got the basic head shape, now we have to do the neck. So obviously we still have the ear to do. So what we can do is we can unhide the ear. Work out how we're going to do that. So probably this is going to be deleted. Here is also going to be deleted. We don't need this sphere anymore, so let's get rid of that. We do not have enough topology for this yet. Sorry, I'm just sitting up a little bit. So we need to work out a way of connecting all this topology to the ear. First of all, I'm just going to move that back a little bit. I'm just going to carry on with the main parts of the head before I do that. So let's carry on with the neck right here. So you can see that we've gone quite off here. So let's just move that back into place a little bit. That's fine. Just make this planar along the X, Z. Do something like this for the neck. And then for here, we're going to kind of follow that tradition again. Follow that loop. Move this in. This is going to kind of deform into the neck. So we don't get a dodgy shape, we're going to do a similar thing that we did with the head. And we're going to create a shape, so for the neck. So let's create a cylinder. Doesn't matter which viewport you put it in right now. Let's rotate it. Remember, the neck's on a slight angle, so let's rotate it. Put it in place. My neck is about like this. Move it into the center. Let's check the thickness from the front view. Maybe a bit thicker. About there. So our neck's about like this. So now that I've got this, I'm going to go here, edible poly, delete, delete, and delete. So now we've got a basic cylinder shape that we can kind of deform to. Gonna move this a little bit this direction, this here a little bit, maybe here. Okay. Obviously delete this edge. We have not got a symmetrical line in the middle, but we can easily create one by just going ring here, connect. Make sure there's no other settings. Yep. Connect that. Then we can delete half. Then we're just going to do the same thing as we did the other times and just attach. The next up is attaching this to the mesh. So let's just go here, let's delete these. So remember, you want to target weld the head to the neck. So you get that kind of sphere shape going on. And it also helps us kind of work out what exactly we want to do here. Now I'm going to hide unselected. I'm just going to create the back of the neck. Going to bridge here to here. So I haven't counted how many polygons exactly I need. I'm going to add another ring here. Bridge these. Bridge these. And of course, bridge here. Actually, I'm probably not going to bridge that one. Probably going to go here now. Grow. And just kind of relax this out a little bit. With symmetry turned on, it might do this weird thing. But it's not the end of the world. We're going to sort this out later anyway. Not sure if I like this one either, so I'm just going to go ahead and delete that. Because I kind of want to make space for the ear. Not sure if I like this either. Kind of want another connect in here. So I can target weld this to here. Yep. Actually, I think that was unnecessary. Let's target weld this to here. Bridge this to here. Then bridge this to here with 2, and then we can target weld that to there. Then we've got one more to do really. Just bridge that there to there. Ring, connect. Bridge that from there to there. Ring, connect. Because now what we want to do is we want to create a kind of ear space. So what I'm going to do with this opening is I'm going to go to my spherify tool, which you know I like to use. I'm going to collapse that to not all. I'm going to go to edible poly, select that again. Kind of unhide the ear. Just kind of move this into place of where the ear is. So it's around about here. Turn on symmetry. You can see that we've got a kind of a basic shape going on. So let's just get this, and let's just relax it out a little bit. Alt X. I'm actually wanting to move this down a little bit, because this is going to kind of determine how strong the person's jaw is. So if I went like this, you can see it's going to create that like indent kind of thing. Move this out a little bit. What's going on here? Looks like I missed something, so let's delete there. And let's work out what exactly we're going to do with this area. I'm just going to delete here for a sec. Bridge. Connect here. We want to kind of keep that loop for this, so what I may do is I may just go like this. I don't want to get rid of that loop for the jaw. It's too important. So I'm going to do this. And then this can happen. Obviously it's looking quite messy at the moment, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go in and just use my relax tool again. Kind of move this. In the next tutorial, we'll be carrying on from what we've been doing in this tutorial, which is creating the head and just finishing up the head so we can take it into ZBrush. See you in the next tutorial.
Welcome to the end of this tutorial. Feel free to comment with feedback and suggestions below, and you can also comment on what you'd like to see us do in the future. Thank you, and goodbye.